Hi everybody, this video will describe how to set up the Arduino board for 3 different interactions on the board at the same time. So what I've already gone ahead and set up is actually 4 different interactions on the board. And these are the 4 different options that we have for the Arduino 3 interactions project. The one that's already loaded on there, as you can see, is the 3 blink setup. So I have a bunch of wires in here. I'm going to take it apart and rebuild this from scratch to show you everything. But the first set of wires, if I can kind of hold it that way, is the 3-button LED blink. It's about the top 6 or 8 lines. I'm going to quickly show the setup of each 4 of these interactions. So the top one, I have the 3 blink setup. This next one, which I'm about to turn on, is going to be the button press. The one beneath that with the LED down here is going to be the blue turn knob. You kind of see that blue turn knob down there. And then the last one is going to be the theremin speaker that will output a noise. So we'll see if we can hear all of that. So I've already loaded the blink, 3 blink LED on here as default. I'm going to go ahead and change this to the push button, which is my next one down. So I'm going to go ahead and load the push button link. I'm going to move over here to my screen to show you. This is the 3 blink PDE Arduino file. We'll come back and talk more specifically about these later. If I go to the push button LED, I'm going to go ahead and verify and make sure we're plugged in, make sure my port is set properly, which it is, and then I'm going to do upload. It's going to take just a second to upload. As the video will show, switch over to the video now of the board. Now I should have it set up to where when I press this black button, it turns the LED on. When I let go of the button, it turns the LED off. So that's one second option here. If I unplug the cable here, put it back in there. All right, so that's the button press or push button PDE. And I have that pulled into my 5 volt. Okay, so one of these I am going to need to switch a 5 volt out. So I'm making a couple adjustments to some of these as I go so that I can fit all 3 on the board at the same time. In my point of view, all 4. I'm going to now go back to my screen and move to my pot LED fade, which is my button turn knob. So I'm going to go back to my code, verify, and upload. So that should update on my board now. My 3rd LED bulb is on. And if I can squeeze in here, there's a little turn knob button there, the little blue button. It has an arrow, and if I turn this off, you can see if I turn it all the way to the right, the LED bulb is on. If I turn it towards the left, the LED bulb will turn off. So that is the pot LED fade. We'll move back over to my screen. So there'll be several areas where we'll go back and forth our screen versus the video board so you can see what's going on. I'm going to go to my 4th code here, which is the LDR theremin map. And this is going to be for my speaker. So we'll see if we can hear it. If you can't hear it, just trust me that it is going to make a beeping noise almost, or kind of white noise kind of noise here. So let's click verify and then click upload. Oh, I need to change my code here. So I'm going to let it upload. All right, so then go back to the video now. If you're doing the speaker and the button press, then you may need to switch some of these out. So how I have it is the code for the turn knob says it has to go into the 5 volt. I've actually moved that to the 3.5 volt. So the button press and the turn knob and the speaker all require a 5 volt or 3.5 volt. So you can actually do all 3 of those at the same time. I'm going to remove the 5 volt out and put my 5 volt line for my speaker. Kind of hear the speaker the dim noise. Okay. And what the theremin does is this little node right here, my left hand is on, and it's a light sensor. So if I cover that, try to move it closer to the speaker. Let me see if I can move my speaker closer as well. Excuse loud noises as we get closer here. There you go. So maybe you can hear it now. So if I put my finger over the theremin, you should be able to hear just changing the audio sound. So it's coming out of the speaker there. All right, I'll move my microphone back over here. Okay, so that's the overall setup. I have all 4 on my board at the same time. You only need 3 on the board at once. And the way this setup is going to work is you have to have all 3 on the board at the same time. So whereas I have 4, you just have to choose 3 of these 4. One of them has to be the 3 blink, and then you can choose 2 out of these next 3. So you can choose the button press, the pot turn knob, or the theremin speaker. So you have to do 3 on the same board. So I have 4 on the same board. I'm going to come back and I'll show you how to set all of this up in the next video and load the proper code. We're going to need to make a couple of refinements to the code and to the board setup, but it should all work properly. So that's this first video showing the overall setup of how to do 4 different interactions on an Arduino board all at the same time. And for your project, you'll have to do 3 different ones on the board at the same time. What that will mean is you'll have to, if I go back over to my screen here, you'll have to load your 3 different codes one after another when you're playing back the interactions for your video. So what you'll do is you'll have your 3 LED blink, you'll hit the upload button, show that the blink is working, and then we'll open up our second interaction. We'll upload that, show that the second interaction is working, and then we will open up our third interaction, upload that to our board, and show that that's working as well. So that way you don't have to move wires, pull things out, and put it back onto your board as you are demonstrating this. So all 3 interactions should be on the board at the same time. The next video, we'll break this down and go through how to create each one of these interactions one after another.